Hello. I got a big figurative bag of chips. Pop it open. Who's inside? He jumps out, threatening me with the dare that I cannot eat just one. He says, once I pop, I will be unable to stop. It's Daddy and it's time for his bingo. Which one's the any button? Okay, let's see what we got in here. Handy Andy asks, Pringles come in bags now? You noob! I was combining slogans from Lay's potato chips and Pringles so as to hold them up to the light and illustrate how similar they are. And you ruined it. Oh, yeah. Oh, is this Final Fantasy XIII? You know what I really like a lot about this game? I just want to say out loud, real loud, is I think that Kashitani Yoshiki did a really good job as the main programmer. Another thing I really love is Isamu Kami Kokuyo's art direction. And when this game first came out, a long time ago, back in 2009, December of 2009, I bought it. And after my first couple of hours with the game, I've got to say, in all honesty, I was remarkably impressed with Yoshinori Kanada's storyboard work. That's my favorite joke now for the credits of it. So, this is a really, really interesting concept here. It's a fresh concept. This opening cinematic, you may notice, you may not notice, because you may be watching it with some sort of a nostalgia goggles, whether you've got nostalgia or not. You don't need to have liked a game to have nostalgia goggles. You might be looking at this, accustomed now to modern video games, and not noticing the fact that this CG is now 1080p, whereas previously it was only 720p on the PlayStation 3. It's now, they replaced all the CG in the Xbox One backwards compatible version of Final Fantasy XIII. This is the Xbox 360 version. They replaced all the CG with the 1080p Blu-ray quality CG. And they replaced all the textures in the game with, okay, well, Final Fantasy XIII, I don't think it's 4K. I think it's 1440p. However, they released 13, 13.2, and Lightning Returns all on the same day a couple months back. And after playing each one of them a little bit, I've verified that they are all... Those other two are definitely 4K. And they all run at like a rock-solid 30 FPS now. So this right here is this is the dream of Final Fantasy XIII, which is that it just has good art. However, this game is all over the place. When it first came out, I was not disappointed so much as confused by it. I thought that it didn't hang together. I thought its plot didn't make too much sense. Eventually, I liked the combat. However, I thought the combat took way too long to get started. They start you out with barely a smattering of the stuff that they're going to end up giving you in the game. I was hoping I could turn Japanese subtitles on. I was really hoping I could do that. But I can't. Oh well. I really love this Final Fantasy, modern Final Fantasies having the piano music on the title screen. That title screen of Final Fantasy XV, wow, I love it. We're going to start up a new game. As I understand it, this is going to take me a while to get to anything, so I've got a beverage. Today's beverage is a little bit of a, I don't know what to call it. I'm going to give it a name. Nobody suggest a name. Today's beverage is a yerba mate tea bag steeped
For 13 days after we
in 3 ounces of coffee and 5 ounces of water. Hot water. It's like a yerba mate coffee blend. It's not disgusting. I've been drinking this for about 10 years. Has an excellent smell. I really like this resolution, man. I really like these HD cutscenes, dude. So interestingly, these are the cutscenes that are in the PC version of the game. However, the game now on Xbox One X now runs at a higher resolution and frame rate than even you can accomplish with the PC version, which is interesting.
Best of luck.
I've never heard these English voices before. So, the running theory about this game, whether it's a theory or not, who knows, is that my theory, about 90% of the team that worked on this game were artists. And they just made a whole bunch of stuff, and the stuff all looks good and cool. I mean, like this. This looks cool. She looks cool. I want to hang out with her.
I'm not a lassie.
I'm not a lassie. Oh my god. In Japanese, that sounded awkward too. Oh my god. I gotta... Okay, so I feel like I've been playing this game for a couple of weeks, because I played Final Fantasy XV. I played all the way through it. Might do a stream. I might want to do a stream of the episodes. That would be fun.
Good for them.
I've been listening to Blinded by Light, the battle theme of Final Fantasy XIII, in the car in Final Fantasy XV. And I like to set the car on auto and not fast travel and just listen to music. So I've spent most of Final Fantasy XV listening to the battle music from Final Fantasy XIII, which is kind of wildly hilarious to me. I feel like, was that really the best move they could have made at Square Enix, to let me listen to other Final Fantasy games' music in the car? Because Cosmo Canyon from Final Fantasy VII and the battle theme from Final Fantasy XIII have completely owned my Final Fantasy XV experience. There's also that Yasutaka Nakata Chocobo music remix, which I think is pretty decent as well. I don't know. So yeah, I'm ready to appreciate this game, you know? I'm ready. I felt let down by it. And I'm going to admit, my original experience with this game was soured slightly by... I wrote a blog post for Kotaku.com the day after it came out in Japan, which was months before it came out in the US. This was, you know, it's hard to imagine, but this was like right on the cusp of games getting international releases. At like simultaneous international releases. So I wrote the first blog post for Kotaku.com that had impressions of this game. Oh my god. Oh, look at those in-game character models. The CG looks beautiful, but the in-game looks incredible. Rock solid 30 FPS. I'd love a 60. I would love a 60. Ghost Little says, I remember reading that post. It was super long. No, that actually was not the first. That was the second post about Final Fantasy XIII I wrote. So my experience with this game was tainted, and I'm going to tell you what it was tainted by. I'm going to tell you this out loud. I don't really talk about stuff like this, but I get a lot of hate mail from people who are obviously weirder than me, and because I said I didn't really like what I was playing, Active Time Battle. First of all, yeah, I know how to. Let's do a refresher. I said I didn't really like this game, and or I didn't really like the combat system. I thought it was too slow. And somebody sent my email address. They sent me a photograph of, like, a dead child. And they said, this is going to be you, or whatever they said. And that just kind of ruined this whole game for me, which I know that sounds really stupid and selfish and weird. But Yeah. Well, that's the end of that story. So we're talking about the choice is simple. I'm going to fight this Manasvin Warmech. Warmech is an interesting name for them to give this because that was the name of the enemy on the bridge in the Tower of Babel in Final Fantasy I that you could fight to get the adamant armor. We're going to go ahead and hit him. I'm going to admit, I don't really remember this battle system all too much. Oh, well, I'm starting to get it. I'm starting to remember. I remember feeling like a complete master of this game about 35 or so hours in. No, this is not on the Nintendo Switch. This is on the Xbox One X. Hence the silky smooth frame rate and the rock-solid 1080p resolution. Okay, it's not silky smooth, sorry. It's smooth like good cotton. Smooth like premium cotton. Is this available on the Switch? Well, if it's not today, it will be tomorrow, if you know what I mean. Hey, Saz has some character in his voice. So, I think Saz and Lightning are an interesting blend of personalities to be like paired up as partners in this world, because it's like, what if Cloud absorbed half of Barrett's coolness and toughness, right? So Lightning is like Cloud with a lot of Barrett, and Saz is like Barrett minus some toughness because he's got guns. Oh my god, the music. Do I have abilities yet? We're gonna attack the Manasvin Warmech. Yeah, so 12 is coming out for the Nintendo Switch. 10 and 10-2 coming out for the Nintendo Switch, or they're out for the Nintendo Switch now. I know that 10 and 10-2 are coming out for the Xbox One X, and I think they're going to be... I believe it says they're Xbox One X enhanced on the store. I know because I checked this. Oh, man. So I'm now remembering that here at the beginning of the game, they just... This battle system, which eventually blossoms into a meticulous flower, just starts out with, like, I'm just doing some trash. You know, I'm, like, not even, like, I'm just picking some stuff and pressing a button. I'm just, like... So, she'll attack. Oh, 5 stars. Didn't even think. Got 5 stars. Ghost Little says, I want to play Lightning Returns someday. Lightning Returns is incredible. Absolutely incredible. And it has one of the best video game soundtracks I have ever heard. Like, I love the soundtrack in that game so much. Yeah, Lightning got down to a sliver of health, and we still got 5 stars for that battle. Beef Switch says I should probably finish any Final Fantasy game ever. Play 4. Actually, Square Enix should release a pixel-perfect widescreen version of the SNES version of Final Fantasy IV.
Aren't you supposed to protect civilians, soldier? I mean, you are Sanctum, aren't you?
Sanctum?
What are you doing trying to stop the purge? Why don't you tell me that?
I was a soldier.
She was. She isn't anymore.
Hey, where do you think you're going?
I'm going to go ahead and say that,
Chocobo, you just can't catch a break, can we? Yeah, that's a good question. Oh, well. I better follow up.
oh man, the English voice acting is great. I like the English voice acting a lot. I really like it. Or, you know what I would like? I do like that 3D remake of 4. Oh, here we go. The corridor. Oh, how to control the camera. Standard. No, we're going to keep that. So after facing much criticism... Ooh, what? Oh, we get a data log. After facing much criticism about the camera in Final Fantasy XII, giving people motion sickness in Japan, they made the camera have this slide follow on it and this really hinky acceleration for 13. It's not, you can't just wheel it around. The character isn't The camera isn't fixed to a point relative to the character. It's more floating. Can't exactly make yourself as motion sick with it. It also does a little bit of auto swivel, which is neat. I don't even remember what oh my god. This is your first indication that this was... In 2009, this was huge. This was the first indication that you're like, oh, what is this game? And keep in mind, I was one of the people who had just bought it in Japan and was playing it. We're going to buy a potion. Yeah, purchase a potion? I ask myself this question every night when I stop at the Life Deli in Sunset Park, Brooklyn, New York, and I pick up a Vitamin Water Zero XXX, which is my bedtime beverage, double B. And I call it a potion, and I call the store an item shop. So, that's all there is to it. Well, the Aardvark says this came out in 2009. Yeah, 2009. However, this is totally sweetly, in case you didn't know, Xbox One backwards compatibility is amazing. Upon entering an enemy's detection radius, the minimap in the upper right corner of the screen will flash in warning. You know what? I'm gonna take these guys down. Oh yeah. Gotta love the song. Man, when are they gonna introduce something else for me to do in the battle system? No, it came out just 4 years after 12. I love 12. I honestly love 12 a lot. And I have 12 on my PS4, but lately I've been playing everything on the Xbox. And 12 Zodiac Age comes out on the Xbox, I think next week. I'm not sure. And I think Big Boy's going to play it again. Dumpster Din Boy says, playing the Yakuza series on PS3, that could use some backwards love. Yeah, the thing is, Sony goddamn don't know what they're doing. Here's what I'm going to tell you. The PlayStation 5 is going to let you play every PS4 game, no question. However, they're just hoping that by the time the PS5 comes out, you've forgotten that the PS4 can't just play PS3 games. Yeah, I love all the music in this game. None of these battles are going to go on long enough for the battle theme to get to its crescendo. Wait, what is this music? Isn't this the music that plays in the car in Final Fantasy XV? I'm not going to get tired of that particular joke. Beef Switch says, if the PS5 doesn't let me play Bloodborne at 60 FPS, I probably won't buy one. I'm going to tell you, I do not understand why Bloodborne, I think, runs worse on the PS4 Pro. Oh, we only got 4 stars that time, I guess. The music is kicking into high gear just over the results screen. Got a free Phoenix down. Yeah, Masashi Hamauzu was definitely too good to work at Square Enix. Hence he's indie now, isn't he? Didn't he go independent? I think he did what all great composers before him have done. Nobuo Uematsu, Hitoshi Sakimoto, Yasunori Mitsuda, Masafumi Takada. All my favorite video game composers, they started up their own little studios, and they now work freelance. Taro Tanaka 47 says, how should I cook my eggs? Assuming this is not a joke, you should use a cast iron skillet. Cast iron skillet is the only way to cook an egg.
Yeah, well, hell's not sounding too bad. This place ain't exactly paradise.
Domesticated peacekeepers. Nothing to worry about.
Maybe not for a soldier girl, but I'm trying to say, hey!
Man, he sure has a personality now, which is nice. How do I open up? Me open menu. Hang on a second. You gotta love. So hold on. Subtitles. Yeah, subtitles are now. What? Oh my god, this menu is giving me a brain mare. Do you see this? This This... Oh, hang on a second. Oh, yeah. Oh, hello. These subtitles are giving me... like, it's giving me a nightmare because it's like we got on, off. It looks like it's 2 things or 3 things. Lord. I don't know what the speaker name's on. Yeah, I don't know who any of these people are. It doesn't indicate, like, what... I want all the subtitles on. I want my battle speed. I want it to be fast. There's no fast. That menu is really hard to look at, man. Yeah, that's... Oh, man. Cool. I got his subtitles now on the screen. I can see what he's saying. I can't believe how bad that menu is. In the 10 years since this game came out, I have designed menus for several video games and mobile phone applications. And I can tell you that, maybe the Final Fantasy XIII menus might have inspired me. I might have looked at them and gone, enough is enough. It's time for me to get involved in whatever this is. Did it. Well, that's 5 stars. We did good. Man, the battle theme is such a slow burn that the first, like, couple hours of the game are not dynamic enough to match it. Oh my god. So here was indicator number 2 when we first played this game in 2009.
Thanks, guys.
That the game might kind of not be a normal Final Fantasy. Was you're going down this corridor and you look at the mini-map and it's like, usually, raise your hand if you do this. When you're playing an RPG, have you learned basically the level designer psychology that in every dungeon, have you just learned which way is probably the dead end that has a treasure? You can just intuit it, right? When you're playing, you're running down a path in a dungeon and you go, I bet there's a treasure to the right here and the goal is to the left, right? So, I just want to say, when I first played this game and I was coming down this corridor, I said, I bet there's a treasure up there. That's my joke about how this whole first 30 hours of this game is a straight line. Should I save it? Actually, let's go ahead and the inaugural save. I just want to say that here in playing backwards compatible games on the Xbox One X, from up there, you mean where there's a treasure? I don't feel like I'm playing an old game. I don't feel like I'm playing a brand new game, because, I mean, my brain knows that the Matrix is telling me this game is a juicy, brand new game. Right? Let me take the aerial recon. I know that it's not a brand new game. However, I don't feel like I'm playing an old game. And it's because the Xbox One... Oh my god. The Xbox One's backward compatibility is just... It's so seamless and beautiful. And their controller is the exact same that it's been since the first Xbox, more or less. It has the same number of buttons. It doesn't have any wild new features like motion controls or a weird floppy little play school touchpad made out of corn. It's just a straight up, I feel like, I mean, it's the same game. All the button prompts on the screen, they're all still relevant to this game despite its being old. And again, that touchpad on the PlayStation 4 controller is literally made out of corn. That's not an irreverent joke. It's called bioplastic. Look it up. There's so much corn in America that they're able to make video game controllers out of it in Japan. Oh, it looks like I killed somebody with one sorting. I believe it's a very long time before you access the Crystallarium or whatever it's called that lets you upgrade. The Crystarium? Yeah, Sony doesn't want you playing old games, as that one Sony buddy said. Would you want to play the original Gran Turismo? And it's like, I mean, yeah. I mean, both for historical interest and because stuff looks cool. I love looking at old polygons. Jumping Flash? Who wouldn't want to play Jumping Flash? I don't even want to run into you on the street on accident if you don't want to play Jumping Flash. You know what I mean? Ooh, item usage tutorial. I'm gonna make sure I view all the tutorials. I want to make sure I play well, so as to not upset our more sensitive viewers. 24 potions. Oh my god, she's literally carrying 2 12-packs. So yeah, these potions, it's a free action. You recover HP immediately without experiencing any charged segments. Okay. I'm going to use my Blitz ability. Which is not what I should have done. I'm going to change to another guy. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but I'm trying to get a lower score than 5 stars. I tried to do this. Oh, it's been staggered. Wait, staggered? What is stagger? Is stagger? Oh, no. I did all the wrong stuff. And I still got 5. Yawara Kaimasamune says Nocturne on PS4 would be great. Nocturne is great on anything, but yeah, put it on the goddamn PS4. Just put it on there, man. For God's sake. Put Nocturne on the Switch. Also, we ain't seen nor heard nothing about Shin Megami Tensei 5. And that makes me mad, because I need it. I goddarn need it. On my Nintendo Switch. Shin Megami Tensei 4 for the Nintendo 3DS. Crikey, what a video game that was. That was just you see in my videos, you see me say a lot of positive stuff about video games, and I try to be nice. I try to find like what's generally worth being excited about. But dude, if I were to make a video about Shin Megami Tensei 4, I would have the FBI banging on my door, because I would sound like a psycho talking about how much I like that game. It is just, I'm a goddarn person who doesn't eat meat, and I just gotta compare that game to a juicy steak of video game. It is a juicy steak. What do I think of 4 compared to Apocalypse? I'm gonna be perfectly honest, I didn't play Apocalypse because I didn't want to dig out the what do you call it? Hold on, I gotta type something real quick. I didn't want to dig out my 3DS again. I'm sorry. I didn't want to. Put it on the Switch. You know what? Whenever I say they should put such and such game on the Switch, like 3DS game, and someone's like, oh, but it's a 3DS game. How would it work? It's like, I don't know, make it work. You don't need... Like, how many 3DS games actually use the 2 screens? How many... Like really? Like, they all use 2 screens because the console has 2 screens? But how many of them need 2 screens? Someone was like, Shin Megami Tensei 4 wouldn't work on just 1 screen. And I'm like, yeah, the Shin Megami Tensei 3 did, man. I don't want to get my 3DS out unless I'm playing Dragon Quest XI, which I won't have to do pretty soon. I gotta heal. I'm sorry, everybody. We gotta heal. We live, and we live again. Yeah, this game is a real... I mean, it is tax time, so... This battle system is a real tax simulator. Just numbers everywhere. Big, long columns and rows. Who in the chat? Shout me out if you look at spreadsheets a lot. And we got 2 Wicked Fangs, 14,725 points. So yeah, I'm the comment I'm seeing repeatedly in the chat every time I look away from the spreadsheet madness is this game looks good. Yes, once again, it does look very good. And that's because the Xbox One X enhancements bump the game's resolution and frame rate way up. Square Enix, in fact, they went and replaced every texture in the game with a 1440p texture. I believe. I think it's 1440p. I know that 13.2 and Lightning Returns are all 4K textures, which is wild. Oh my god, she knows how to use laptops. Best Final Fantasy character ever. I've got to admit, I'm just going to address the elephant in the room here. I think that Lightning is maybe the second hottest video game character of all time. I was sure to leave 5 seconds of silence after saying that, just so everybody knows how serious I was about it. I counted to 5.
Deportees, are we?
Deportee?
I'd hate for this to
Oh man, it's Todd McFarlane's Darth Vader.
Turn ugly?
He wants to kill us without a fight.
Todd McFarth Vader. That's his name. Oh my god, he rules, actually. No, I mean, we're going to go ahead and everybody guess who I think is the hottest video game character. Oh wait, what am I doing? Just notice the chain gauge. Keep an eye on the chain gauge as you strike. Okay. Oh, straight blitz. When you attack an enemy, its chain gauge fills. Hit home. Percentage is called the chain bonus. The more time you damage in, this will take a second marauder, boosting your chain bonus until the gauge is full. I'm going to hit that marauder again. We got him up at 102.5%. He's at 102.5%. It's 19 damage, 6, 34. We've got him up over 204. You will stagger your foe. They call it stagger. In the Japanese version, they call it break. Break. Doc Gobbler has hypothesized that I find Luca from Chrono Trigger to be the hottest video game character of all time. Not so. Although, she is wonderful. He's broken, but he's not elevated. Do I not have the ability to launch an enemy up into the air yet? Is that something I unlock on a Crystarium grid? Man, I can't wait to see Aeris in the Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm going to tell you what, playing this right now, realizing that these people changed every texture, I'm just like, yeah, they could probably make a Final Fantasy VII Remake. Link from Breath of the Wild, very, very attractive. The abs, fantastic abs.
So, soldier.
I like how he's calling her soldier. Because Cloud was a soldier, get it? And lightning comes out of clouds. So my feeling about this game, which the further I got into it, the first time I played it, the more I felt right about it, was that it's just so much art, and they never really figured out what the story was. And then the director let slip in an interview
I'm after the foul sea.
that they had enough extra art assets to make a whole separate game. Which actually it turned out they were able to make 2 whole separate games. So that's wild. So I first played this game in Japanese, and I've never played it in English, so this is my first time experiencing it in English. And I just... feels like today. Today is the day where I finally, for the first time, feel as though I am definitely done with my 2-year-long Final Fantasy VII video project, in which I played Final Fantasy VII for the first time in Japanese after first playing it in English 20 years before. So I first played Final Fantasy XIII in Japanese 10 years ago, and now I'm playing it in English. An interesting experience. Look at these B-team character models. These are not... I mean, okay, I'm not saying that the artists are the B-team. I'm saying that they are the artists who have a heavier workload and have to do way more characters.
More like extermination.
Not like these marquee characters.
You stay here.
Oh my god. Is that snow?
Sorry. I didn't mean to.
Huge.
These people need heroes.
Oh my god, Snow thinks they need heroes.
Here. You keep your.
The Switch port of Final Fantasy VII is the
You got it?
the mobile version and the PlayStation 4 version, and it was the PlayStation 4 version was advertised on stage during a Sony press conference. So it's it's the one Final Fantasy even they didn't want to mess up. The font isn't as good. It's not that sweet pixel font. However, the font that they use is custom and it very closely resembles the original font. And you can click an analog stick to speed the game up 300%, which is beautiful. Now I'm Snow. These people wearing these hoods that are somewhat reminiscent of Final Fantasy
It's all over.
white mages. Alright, let's kill. We never should have fought back. We're gonna save the game as Snow because I don't want to lose that progress that I've made as Lightning. I killed an enemy. I mean, I killed an enemy between my saves. I'm gonna go back and get this thing that I walked past. Oh my god. It's taking me a while to get used to the weirdness of the camera. Because it's not the type of camera you expect in a video game nowadays. It's got this wacky acceleration. It's like if I click the stick like this, it doesn't whip. To whip, you have to really hold it down for about half a second. I feel like it was much slower on the Japanese version. Yes, Beef Switch. He does have his jog is too slow. Sort of an underwater look to it. I mean, I've seen people on the street running that way. I've never yelled at someone on the street. However, I almost want to yell sometimes when I see people, like,
This is crazy.
doing that really slow jog. Where it's like you are exerting way more energy than you have to move. And not
Save 'em all.
taking a dirt nap.
Oh, it's even worse.
It's like my dad's favorite phrase.
No dirt naps today. We're all in this together.
Oh my god, Snow.
Cocoon sanctum. Or dreaded Psycom, no less.
Snow is basically
What's the dread?
Brock from Pokemon, the TV series, the movie,
They've got nothing on Nora.
the video game, the movie, the video
Heroes,
game.
after all. Let's prove it.
He's wearing a bandana which resembles a hat. He looks like
Sanctum's gonna pay for this.
he looks like he does own a vape shop, yes, as Beef Switch says. Top 10 worst video game characters with bandanas.
Wrapped up and ready.
Oh, I'm not making fun of Brock. I think Brock's cool. I'm not saying Snow sucks. Oh, maybe this battle will be long enough for us to really chill to the music. I'm not going to use my hand grenade. Snow has infinite hand grenades. Again, I'm not going to say Snow sucks. I could if I wanted to. It's just I'm not really sure. His coat is kind of okay, but, like, dude, I think he would be cooler with a shorter coat. That whole ankle-length coat is kind of stupid. I really love the pattern, though. Hold on, I'm gonna hand grenade these guys. Oh, they already killed one. The battle system gives you a couple of toys to mess with, and then it's just like, don't worry about it, though. You can just fight. I did it. I got the 4 stars. I was trying to get a 4-star. I was trying really hard. I gotta say, the best clothes in Final Fantasy are Final Fantasy 15 characters' starting outfits. They just all look good. Noctis has a good outfit.
Everywhere.
Yo, boss. What's the plan?
Don't ever call anyone boss.
Sergeant, guns blazing.
It's trashy.
That's not a plan. Real heroes
Ghost of the
don't
Last, why did they
need
make this
plans.
battle system? None of the prior FF games were this simplified. It's not simple, though. It's starting slow. It's starting very slow. I mean, it's starting at a glacial pace. Hand grenade. Oh, did I damage myself? Oh, I shouldn't have. I should have thrown it at them. Okay, I'm just throwing my hand grenades, and we're gonna see if that gets me a. Oh, I still got the 5-star. Larstron says, I think the argument against this battle system is more about them overthinking the tutorials rather than oversimplifying the system. Exactly. It takes a very long time for them to introduce the Crystarium, which is where/how you upgrade your characters. I don't want to talk about it like it's a real place. So it's like, it takes a long time. It takes way too long for them to go, oh, you can get abilities, by the way. They're in here. And then there's also a mechanic called Paradigm Shift. I don't know what it's called in English. I know it's not called Paradigm Shift. It's called Paradigm Shift in Japanese, and I think that's cool. And that is where you have different sets or paradigms of auto behaviors and abilities. And they're really chill. And that actually defines the... Is it Optima change? Ghost Little is saying? That sounds like something they would say. It's Paradigm Shift in Japanese, and I thought that was just great. To, like, gamify the word paradigm. Oh, I didn't want to throw another grenade, but that was the right thing to do. The guy's goddamn pockets are a bucket full of bottomless big boy bombs. Oh, man. Wait, is it Paradigm Shift in English? I didn't know, man. I don't know what it's called. Oh, The Prisoners. You know what game I've never played is Final Fantasy Type 0, which I assume looks like these characters, these B characters here. Oh, there's Mom. Oh, there's Baby Sid. Don't laugh about almost destroying my property.
Don't worry.
You impetuous goblin.
We'll clear you a path out of here, so be ready to...
Let me fight with you.
Oh man, that guy right there is the very first appearance of a weird polo shirt and chinos dude from Final Fantasy XV. Just dude who's just hanging out in diners, just American tourist. How did he get in there?
Okay then. Volunteers front and center.
Hope's mom looks exactly like she's related to Ash from Final Fantasy XII. I think so too.
Here you go.
Similar face vibe.
And one for you.
Count me in.
Here's yours. Take care now. Mom?
So no one has guessed who the hottest video game
Don't worry.
character of all time is.
Huh?
Huh?
Hold it steady.
Yeah, feels good.
Yep, nice.
Can you show me again?
You got it.
That's how it works.
Can you show me again? That's how it works. All right. Some people in the chat are close. Where by close, I mean you said it but not confidently.
Moms are tough.
The answer is Fang. Fang from Final Fantasy XIII is far and away the hottest person who has ever been in a video game. I remember playing this game, and when she first showed up going, wow. My girlfriend was sitting right there, and I said, wow. And she's like, what? And I was like, look at this character here. She just looks up from her laptop and said, oh my God,
First impression of snow?
in English, which was not her first language.
All right, lay low and you'll be fine. We'll clear out the...
Needless to say, it was a hot moment. I'm just going to say.
We're going home together!
Vanille is okay. But no.
Come on! Everybody up!
She's not as chill as Fang.
Right. New recruits, on me.
Oh my God.
Come on.
Oh, PS1 era Meryl, yeah. I mean, Fang rules.
Time to go, kiddo.
She's so tough and chill. And she's got a spear, for God's sake. A spear. And the best hair I've ever seen on a video game character. Anyway, she rules. And I was losing interest in the game. And then she showed up and I was like, oh, this rules. Let's go ahead and... Wait, hold on. I need to use a hand grenade on these guys. No, don't throw a hand grenade at the guy who's right next to us. That seems unsanitary. I'm gonna get this guy in the middle. Oh, me punch? What? No more hand grenade for Daddy Snow? I guess also I'm playing Final Fantasy XIII today to commemorate new season of Game of Thrones starting on Sunday. Because we've got Jon Snow there, and then we've got Snow here. Rumor is that the character Jon Snow was named after Snow from Final Fantasy XIII. That's not true. At all. Game of Thrones, more like Game of Snow-ins, because it snows. Game of Snow-ins. We're going to go ahead and toss that big boy grenade. Or as I called them. So actually, during World War II, some soldiers called hand grenades daddy bombs. Which doesn't make any sense. I'm going to just go ahead and take my fists to the market. Oh, that sound was like disproportionately loud. I believe that's a 5-star victory. You can always tell it's a 5-star because that first one is gold. They don't give you any suspense of all the things the video game has taken from you. I wrote an 18,000 word review of this game when it first came out for my personal blog, during which I went off on a bit of a word bender. Video games as liars. And what I mean when I say video games are liars, and they can be good liars or bad liars, and I mean obviously any work of fiction art is a monument of lies. Lies that we enjoy. I mean, obviously, video games are all lies. I talked about why I thought this game was a bad liar. There's good liars and bad liars. Oh, it's a beta behemoth. So in other words, one whose diet consists entirely of vegetarian meat substitutes. Oh, good joke. Yeah, but dabba do. Hey, I'm not a vegetarian, Leo Gordon Howler. I am a person who does not eat meat. That does not make me a vegetarian. I don't call myself a vegetarian because that's too political. And also, I don't like vegetarian meat substitutes. I think that's trashy. I have sustained the last 20 years of my life eating... I've sustained my health for 20 years eating beans. Black beans, by the way. Not any other kind of bean. I don't know what other kind of bean you would eat. Wait, are we all using potions? Everybody wants a drink? God. Oh, the beta behemoth is dead. And we got 4 stars on the beta behemoth. Just 4 stars. So I eat black beans. I eat green vegetables. And I eat lots and lots. I can't stress this enough. I eat a lot of eggs. That's all I eat. No garbanzo beans. Garbanzo beans are bad. I eat black beans or lentils. That's it. Lots of eggs. I eat about 9 eggs a day. I boil eggs in an Instant Pot, which only takes like 5 minutes. It's wild. You put a cup of water, and then I have a little silicone stand for the eggs, and then in 5 minutes you have boiled eggs. I just want to let everyone know, don't close this tab, but as of literally right now, the new episode of my Final Fantasy VII translation series is live on Kotaku.com as well as YouTube. Don't leave, please. Just stay here. Just come back on in. Moms are tough. Don't leave. Stay here. We're about to see Mom. He's so much taller than Mom. Moms are tough, but they ain't tougher than stuff blowing up. You know, I often wonder, about that moment, that last moment, that ultimate moment of life. What it's going to be like, what's going to go through my head. I sincerely hope that when I die falling toward a camera as it fades to white. Not away from. You know? The new episode of the translation video is 56 minutes long. And the next week will be the final one. It's already done, so I don't feel like a scumbag talking about it. That one is 39 minutes long. And I'm going to say right now, moms are tough, but they ain't tougher than a bottomless pit. Can you believe it? Like, faced with the opportunity to allow a man to pull you up to safety, you would decide instead to fall asleep and relinquish your central nervous control over the grip of your fingers. Leave a man looking at his glove. Leave a man looking at his glove. Stress makes people sleepy, says Skullboy. Ain't that the truth? They call it shock.
We have to move.
Oh, Hope's voice actor, I haven't heard him say like a full line yet, but he sounds way better than the Japanese one. The Japanese Snow, he sounded like simultaneously a child and a dirtbag. Have you ever seen... Yeah, you're saying, someone says Hope's not great. I don't care what you're saying. I'm remembering 10 years ago playing this game in Japanese where he sounded like a 6-year-old boy who was going to grow up to have bodies in the basement, is what he sounded like. And it was not fun. So I was going to ask, has anybody ever met a child where they just know he's going to be a dirtbag?
That was the idea.
Like he's going to grow up to just be a huge scumbag? Usually the one way you can tell that a child's going to grow up to be some kind of dirtbag
Why carry the danger all the way to
is his
post?
parents are really rich.
Why not just stamp it out here?
That's the end of my joke.
Execution masquerading as exile.
I'm not going to lie, everyone. I don't like rich people. That's the end of that. Let's get to
How does the government get away with pulling crap like that?
I like Saz's voice actor.
And you knew this was gonna happen?
He sounds good.
The purge was SciComm. Private sanctum troops, not the Guardian.
Beach 2772 says, you can't eat the rich if you don't eat meat.
Guardian Corps.
Who says I'd want to eat them?
Soldiers are soldiers, aren't they?
You don't have to eat every dead body, okay?
Pulse files
I'm not talking about
and LSE.
killing
Enemies
anybody.
of the state. Tell a soldier to kill an enemy, and you really think it's gonna matter what uniform he's wearing?
Might have mattered to that one.
Leo Gordon Howler asks, do you find Saz is underutilized in this game? I think everybody's underutilized. I think the characters underutilize themselves.
You pull the trigger?
So they're just... Conversation in this game has just been non-stop, wall-to-wall, bonker buckets of jargon. Nobody's had like a human moment, except the moms are tough part, which in Japanese is Okasan Matsuyoyo, which is kind of awkward, just as what it is. It's a Myrmidon. A lot of these enemies in this game are pushing. Elevate him. Get him up there. Get him up there. It's not working. I need you to blitz. I need you to blitz. This is not working the way football usually does. Oh my god. Come on, you're gonna break him. You're gonna break him. You're gonna break him. Oh, me die. Stagger. He's done. He's down like a clown. Let's get him. Oh, give me that stuff. Please don't. I had 2 HP left. Okay. Yeah, he does look like one of the mechs from ZOE. He looks like Jehudi. Does anybody love the name Jehudi? Well, it's just one of the greatest character names. Yes, the menus look exactly like Winamp skins. I had a polymer emulsion. NPN says, one of the biggest failures to me in the storytelling is that there are 3 key terms in the game that are nonsense words, which sound and look exactly the same. Lassie, falsi, and seeth. So, in Japanese, they are nashi, fadushi, they're rushi, fadushi, and shi, and, God, what is the third one? It's like Shia. Rashi, Rushi, Fadushi, Shia. It's like, what? And they keep talking about it. They keep talking about, we need to, I'm after the falsi. It's like, what? What does that mean? There's a lassie and there's a falsi.
Sarah.
Oh, Sarah's his girlfriend.
Just what you were looking for.
Yeah. Right in there.
Yeah, I was looking for this Evangelion computer thing.
I'll see.
Oh, it's the pulse falsi. Yeah. And then there's the word pulse, which is an English word that most English speakers in the audience are familiar with. And it's,
Don't worry.
Pulse is like the name of the country or the place. Mopar Map says, I was convinced I missed something when I first played the game. Yeah, this game's all, like, for example, you just feel disoriented for, like, the first 20 hours of this game. Oh, let me hear her voice. Vanilla? Speak to me, please. Don't hug that dirtbag.
It's too much, isn't it?
Is she from Australia?
Face it later.
Face it.
Ciao.
Does she say crikey
Hey,
later?
wait.
I honestly couldn't tell what accent that was. She didn't say enough words.
You
Pulse
seemed
is Australia?
happy when I smiled, didn't you?
Wait, what? No.
But really, I was afraid. I was always afraid.
Oh, yes. Okay, so Pulse, the country of Pulse is Australia. That's cool. In Japanese, she had, like, a really, really, like, aggressively over-the-top, cute anime voice.
That post falsi is different from the sanctums.
So how do you figure that the Pulse falsi is different from the Sanctums?
Things being equal.
Can you imagine getting paid to read that line out loud? Because that rules.
Hey, hang on!
Oh my god.
What the?
She just executed like a Batman escape. Like, you know how Batman disappears on people? But she did it after telling him to watch. Which is incredible.
She can do it, so can we.
She's like Bizarro Batman. Oh my god. Saz. So, if I recall correctly, they're going to be chosen by the falsi. And then they have X number of days to save the something. So when Square Enix made this game, and I know some people who worked on it. I don't want to speak like from too much of an insider perspective. When they made this game, they very much did design the characters of Lightning and Saz and whatnot. They did very much design them with a thought on how they were going to be appreciated by fans of the series with cosplayers in mind. They designed these characters. And they were very much trying to invoke nostalgia for Final Fantasy VII with this
What's wrong with you?
destroyed beauty kind of look to it. A world that's blown up and weird.
Get who home?
Some sort of cyberpunk eco plot. However, I feel like toss
me that.
it just doesn't hang together.
Catch.
And Final Fantasy VII, I mean, I don't want to say Final Fantasy VII is like the greatest game ever or anything. But man, wow, it really knows how to just start out
You're supposed to be the hero.
being about something. Like I'm supposed to.
She's waiting there, ain't
So, like, when that guy points the gun at him, it's like, I'm going to kill you or whatever, but no, I'm just joking. I'm like, oh, I don't know who you are, so I don't know if you really were serious about shooting me for a second. It's a weird place to put a joke like that. Like, I know nothing about this character. That's strange. I gotta say, I like Final Fantasy XV. I see people in the chat talking about how Final Fantasy XV is a weird action game. Yeah, it's a weird action game. I wish it was a little bit more like Kingdom Hearts. Just a little bit more. Yeah, there are definitely dead bodies everywhere in this scene. Just dead people all over the floor.
I hope everyone's alright.
Dead people, but on the other hand, the trinkets. Delicious trinkets.
Standing there ain't gonna stop us.
What? Standing where? What does that mean? Is he gonna go get in a fight with those dogs? We're gonna save our game just because why not? Disc 1, huh? I don't think there's gonna be a disc 2 on the Xbox. I think it's just gonna... Why would I walk by these guys and not fight them? I'm gonna punch you to death, plastic dog. Oh, I have Gatto in my party. He's not the one I was waiting for. Good joke or not? What do you think? Shout me out in the chat if that was a good joke. Yeah, the Xbox had 2 discs because it didn't have Blu-ray, it just had DVD. It was, yeah, it was 2 dual layers. I shouldn't have to choose to target all allies with the potion. I should just go for it. We are severely lacking in anything with break potential. I'm remembering how this battle system starts to get chill, and it's just like, really wish there was more stuff in the beginning. They don't trust me. I got a Wicked Fang. That's not to be confused with Fang, the character from the game. Is my buddy still all the way up there? I like the X on the minimap that marks where you were when the screen transitioned, and the dots that fade. I've been a big fan of minimap usability in video games over the years. I gave a little presentation about that once at a company. History of minimap usability. You'll know that minimaps, for example, back in the Ocarina of Time, the minimap didn't rotate. That was resembled
I want every weapon ready to fire. Stay sharp.
the maps outside Japanese train stations, which were rotated to face the direction that the person looking at the sign was necessarily facing, due to the rules of Earth geography. What game do I think has the best minimap? I'll have to get back to you on that. Because it's a topic I actually care about a lot. I love how he like runs forward a couple steps so he can throw a hand grenade at the guy. It's like, all right. Oh! Punched to death. Yes, Beef Switch is correct. Snow probably could have held on to, not his mom, but Hope's mom. Probably could have held on to Mom's hand longer if he wasn't wearing the world's slickest gloves. So begins an incredible running joke of my first playthrough of Final Fantasy XIII, which are, is this a motorcycle? Is this a gun? Oh, like a large gun? Is this another species of plastic dog? Let's find out. Oh, did I not press this A button to...
That's a sad sound.
Oh, yeah? See, I've never heard that sound before. Why don't you tell me? Oh, does he like real loud, throbbing, big boy man engines? When one chooses in the morning to wear a pair of gloves which fasten with buckles.
Hey, Godot.
Yeah?
One puts the lives of any
You've got to save. You just protect them all, right?
precipice moms into danger.
Some
Yeah, Gato is a Gadot. I'm gonna call him Gadot.
You got
Wonder
plenty
Man.
of time for thinking on the way.
He is a
Oh,
he's a gas guzzling cold roller.
Yeah.
Let's ride, bro. Someone says, I've been documented as saying, the Chrono Kid says, you've been documented as saying that Final Fantasy IV is the best of the bunch. If you don't mind, I'd like to hear a little bit about why that is. How about you hear a lot about why that is later? How's that as an exchange? Long story short, the main character has a committed... He is in a committed relationship with the person from start to finish. There is no cute little romance. He has a girlfriend that he has been in a relationship with for many years, and they have sexual intercourse very early in the game. And it's just something that they do. And I believe it is a magnitudes more mature portrayal of a real human interpersonal relationship than occurred in almost any video game after it. And it's full of stuff like that. Characters who make sacrifices and live and die.
Didn't you have something to tell him?
Yeah.
It's incredible.
All right then.
It's the best Final Fantasy game. They don't just hug. He wakes up, like she goes into his room, and then the screen fades out and it fades back in. And they live.
You have no idea what it was like. Oh,
Just to let everyone know, I said earlier
the army's no match for Nora.
my post
Kids.
was live. My Final Fantasy translation video. Apparently it's not. It's not live yet. It will be live in 10 minutes. Don't leave, though.
Let's keep it that way, all right?
So I really wish that, for example, the Steam version, he's wearing Noctis's pants. Almost. They're somewhat similar. I wish that the Steam version of Final Fantasy IV was 60 FPS, or at least the menus were not 10 FPS.
I'll swing by the vestige. Keep the kids out of trouble.
The vestige? You can't, like, use a human word. I'll see you guys at the hideout. I'll see you guys at the house.
the kids.
I'll see you guys, like, wherever.
Dinner's on me.
Better be home cooking.
See, there we go. Dinner's on me. Better be home cooking. All right. I love how these characters look like they fell out of a different video game. Like a Star Ocean game. Yeah, what about you, LeBro?
Catch you later.
Hope is wearing, like, a grown butt, like, retired 65-year-old jazz musician outfit. Just like an old dandy man about the country town. Talking about orchestras he's conducted. Recounting and regaling oblivious individuals of the time that one day in a far-off village in a land few have seen, he tempted a cellist into his best performance. You're a strange little boy, Hope. You've heard of business out front, party in back.
I want to tell him. It's just that
He's business upstairs and hot topic downstairs.
Say, you know how to fly this?
yeah, I think so.
All right.
Crikey, mate.
In you go.
Don't forget to say crikey. Let's go.
That way.
I like how I appreciated this weird, somewhat sensitive rendering of this subtle, like, Vanilla's just a confident person.
That thing could.
She just knows what's up with everything in the universe, actually, apparently.
I don't think I can.
And
Do it.
Hope is always kind of like, she's always like naturally touching him, but not in like a weird way, just in like an affectionate encouragement way. And he's always like, oh my god, she's hot. Oh yeah, I realized that Vanilla, I'm going to call her Vanilla, because in Japanese her name is Banida, which is just vanilla, not vanille. It's spelled the same way, however, the katakana is Banida. I'm not making this up. I know that she's up to bad business, because she is consciously getting us into just a big old chubby bucket of trouble. She's dooming us. Tempting our fate. No, she's tempting fate with the smell of our death. My stupid motorcycle has broken. Crikey, mate. Can she not say crikey like at least once? So Vanilla's designed to kind of resemble what was the hottest trend in Japanese fashion hair as far as the girly industry went. Those kinds of pigtails, that kind of perm, that somewhat earthy pastel hair dye, beads and such,
Vanille.
earthy pinks.
My name. And yours?
Hope.
His name is Hope.
Thank you.
Yeah, Hope's little tiny rich boy school scarf.
Well,
Rich boy.
let's look around.
See, if only I would have been one of the writers on this game, I would have had the characters constantly kicking the rich boy in the stomach. Not condoning. I was beaten up a lot as a child, and my parents aren't rich at all.
Hey, Vanille, where are you?
I was just beaten brutally in elementary school and middle school and the beginning of high school. Not making light of this or making a joke out of this. That's just how it was.
That's
Dot Gobbler says turquoise accessories. Yeah, very 2009. Vanille has facial similarities, hair similarities, just self-carrying similarities to Japanese pop star Ayumi Hamasaki. And I'm sure she was inspired by several other ones. No daydreaming now, she says. Oh, she starts out tougher than all of our other characters so far. So I like how she goes up behind this weird, defamiliarized Super Mario World Bowser car vehicle-looking cauldron pot thing and obtains antlers on a pole which fire fishing lures of some sort that grab, snag, yank, and scratch at enemy monsters in a way that inches them toward their actual death. Oh, instrument of descent. That's me. We're just going to take this walk nice and slow so you can appreciate her arm movement.
This place was supposed to be empty.
I remember when I first played this game, I had a grand idea. Yeah, I don't know what her weapon does. I just gotta say, I don't know what it's supposed to be doing. And I love it. But at the same time, it does affect which characters I want to use in a game. I prefer really punchy weapons that I can really see what they're doing. So I don't understand it. So I had a great idea when I first played this game. So when she's walking and you see her arms sway like this, I had this great idea that I wanted to be able to press the right trigger to make her snap the fingers on her right hand and the left trigger to snap the fingers on her left hand so that I could just walk and snap my fingers. Okay, it's really hard to do. It's like you snap it in the rhythm and like doing it, I would get like 1 experience point if I did it at the right rhythm so that I could level her up while walking around. Something that's just something on the map that I feel like Final Fantasy XV tries to bring in stuff like that. Like you can gain AP by driving. If you unlock an ability, you can get more ability points just by driving long distances. So, that's my idea. I want little idle things that you can do that are just mild rhythm challenges that you can do while walking around the overworld. Practice a skill. Maybe your main character's on roller skates or whatever. What I'm saying is, please look forward to the RPG that I am working on literally right now. I'm playing this game as quote-unquote research for it. However, I'm writing an RPG. It's a real one. I will mute you on Twitter if you even joke about asking me to do another video series scrutinizing. I'm going to fight all these enemies just for the points. To scrutinize, if you ask me to do another video series scrutinizing the localization of a beloved Japanese role-playing game, I'm making my own, okay? I realize that the amount of work I put into that video series, I could have made I want to say half of a video game. Definitely not half. I could have laid the foundation for a video game. So I'm going to do that. Yes, the game will be developed by Action Button Entertainment. I won't do a translation video about the game that I'm making, though I will do a translation for it. Beef Switch says 30 Chemco RPGs. Man, have you ever noticed there's 92 Chemco RPGs on the Nintendo Switch? Something like that? Maybe not 92 exactly, but pretty close to 92. Misa, go to the save point. I'm going to turn this off, everybody, because it's time for me to go. By which I mean to the bathroom and also to leave this stream. I'm sorry I've got to go. I would like to stream some more of this later. If anybody really wants me to. We got an hour into the game. That's good. A little bit more than an hour. What do we got? 1 hour, 11 minutes, and 13 seconds. I missed it by 2 seconds. I missed the 1-1-1-1-1. Looks like there's always 10 hours from now. I'll see you all later. I was born stupid, however, I will not die hungry. Video games forever. Kotaku. I messed it up. Kotaku.com.